This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
I don't know.
The one that was on the left.
That's gonna look nice for me.
Yeah. Okay, Joe.
And so if I check or not press time, it just starts. All right, so we ready? Yes.
Good morning and welcome to the first ever Agility Association of Canada trial here in Gander. The trial is being ran by YQX Dog Sports, which is an affiliate of Click Play Love Dog Training, Boarding and Daycare. YQX Dog Sports is a dedicated group of dog enthusiasts here in Gander. They participate in agility, rally obedience, trick dog training, and nose work. So this group is excited to bring new opportunities to the Gander area for dog lovers. If you want some more information on what services and classes they offer, you can check out Click Play Love and YQX Dog Sports on Facebook. All of their classes, events, and all that kind of thing are all posted there on their pages. Before we get started, we just want to take a few minutes to thank our sponsors who have provided in-kind donations of services and also donations of products for our event. We have a wonderful group of sponsors who have also sponsored individual classes, and we'll highlight them as the day goes on. So for our event sponsors, we want to thank the town of Gander. They've been great supporters of us as we've been planning this trial. We also want to thank the Gander International Airport Authority for the use of the fields for our event. Battlefield Equipment Rentals have donated scaffolding for the Rogers broadcasting. Jumping Bean Coffee has provided coffee and tea for our participants and volunteers. Pet Central provided fabulous welcome bags for all of our participants today with lots of treats and toys for our dogs. Alpha Omega Canada provided some donations of prizes and items for our participants. Rogers TV Gander for broadcasting it, and we also want to thank Evangel Pentecostal Church for providing us with speaker and mic to use here in the field. We also want to say thank you to all of our volunteers who are generously giving of their time this weekend. Without them, this wouldn't be possible, and we have a lot of non-competing volunteers, which really makes the event good for participating dogs. It gives them lots of time to hang out with their dogs and spend time and not have to worry about that additional work. So we have 17 handlers from across Newfoundland participating in this weekend's event. We have 21 dogs and 15 different breeds. We have Brenda Jusko here from Nova Scotia for our judge. Brenda has been competing in agility for many years, for about 40 altogether, with Shelties. And just to give you an idea of how long, every dog participating has an identification number, and hers were 290 and 291. Most of the dogs we have competing today, their numbers are in the 28,000. So she's been here for a long time. She has 9 generations of breeding of Shelties that she runs with. She's been breeding for years, and she's participated in local levels, national levels, and even on world agility teams. So it's going to be a great day together. So we have the first class today is Gamblers. Just to give you an idea of how things are happening, we have a 100 by 100 ring here in the field, and you're going to see a few volunteers in the corners, and they have by far the hardest job of the day, because if a dog runs up to them, they are not allowed to touch them or pet them or talk to them. So they have a tough job today, so we take them for their time. So the first course we have is Gamblers, and this course is sponsored by Pippa White. Pippa is a friend of YQX Dog Sports and a frequent daycare friend for Click Play Love. So the first course we have is a master's level course, and the dog we have up first is Jenga. Jenga is a working English Cocker Spaniel, and his handler is Diane Ford, and they're from St. John's. Diane is the owner-operator of DPF Leading Agility, which is actually one of our sponsors for a course tomorrow. So she's getting ready to run, and just to give you an idea, she'll get 40 seconds to run as many obstacles as she wants in any way she wants. She's earning points with each obstacle she takes. You'll hear a whistle blow in about 40 seconds, and then she has to do a set of obstacles. I think it's 4 for her level of competition, and if she gets enough points rounded up and gets that closing gamble, she'll get a qualifying score towards her gambler's title. So I think she's about ready to start there now. So you can see there's an orange line on the ground, and when the whistle blows for what I call the final gamble, Diane will have to send Jenga from that line. She can't let her feet go past that line in order to qualify for it. Just gives the dogs a little bit of distance work from their handler as they're going. So he's going to restart those weaves because he missed the first entry. Great job, Diane and Jenga. So up next we have a course change happening. So what that means is the course that Diane and Jenga just ran was a master's level course. We're moving to an advanced level course, so there'll just be some slight changes in placements of jumps or tunnels and things like that. So it'll take a few minutes for that to happen, and then we'll also have a 5-minute walkthrough for any competitors that are taking part in that advanced course. So for the different dogs and different height classifications that we have, each dog requires a different number of points. We have dogs running anywhere from jumping a 8-inch height, or so actually a 4-inch height is the lowest, up to a 24-inch. So every dog jumps at different heights, and that also means then that there are different number of points that they require. So for dogs running at their regular jump height, which is whatever they're measured at, they need between 18 and 28 points, depending on the course level that they're running. And the specials and veterans height, which allows them to jump at one height lower than what they would be measured at, they have anywhere between normally 14 and 22 points that they're required. So with that course, like I said, there are some changes there depending on what level course, whether it's a master's, advanced, or a starter's course. So you can see there now our volunteers are in moving a few things around. So it's going to take a few minutes for that, so we'll be back there shortly. So we just finished up a course change, switching from our master's course to our advanced course. You can see there's still a few competitors in the ring doing a walkthrough, getting an idea of what their plan is going to be for how they're going to run their dogs. We have 5 dogs competing in the advanced course today, and we're starting at a jump height of 16 inches. So I think they're just fixing. The A-frame is a piece of equipment. You can see them all huddled around. The height of that changes depending on the height that the dog is jumping at and whether they're jumping in a regular or a specials category. So I think they're just making an adjustment to make sure it's at the right height there. All right, so we're about ready to start our advanced course there now. First up in the 16-inch regular category, we're going to have Fozzie. Fozzie is a miniature American Shepherd, and his handler is Krista Garland from here in Gander. Krista's the owner-operator of Click Play Love, and she's a driving force behind YQX Dog Sports. She has been competing in agility for lots of years, and when she moved back here to Gander, she brought her love for the sport back with her. And she's got her group of people that are now hooked to it, and hopefully our group will continue to grow over the next few years. So I can see her. She's just outside the ring warming her dog up there now and getting ready to go. While she's making her way to the ring, you'll notice a few people mulling around in purple shirts. Those are our committee members, just to give a shout out to those. It takes a lot of people to get one of these events off the ground. So Susan Hoyles is our co-chair and the trial manager. We have Krista Garland, who's the other co-chair and the equipment manager for the trial. Myself, Jill Hartle, I've been the technical coordinator for all the things that are happening and the scoring and all that. We have Tracy Vetcher and Pamela O'Keefe, who are our volunteer coordinators, and we have Deidre Stratton, who's the food and beverage coordinator. So a big shout out to all those committee members, because there's a lot of hours of work that has to go into making one of these things happen. There we can see Krista. She's getting him ready to go. I think we're just waiting for the judge to make her way back to the ring there. So it looks like Fozzie and Krista are ready to go. And as I said, they're competing in the 16-inch regular. Same as the Masters course earlier, Krista and Fozzie have 40 seconds to accumulate as many points as they can, and the whistle will blow, and then they have a set number of seconds to do the closing gamble. So we'll see how this goes for her.
When they're going through that slalom thing, is nice. Yeah, that would be an awesome shot. Little tennis up there. Zero. Coming after Fozzie. Good job.
Good job, just not your fault. Yep, that's good. Good job.
Good job, Fozzie and Krista. Up next, we have Miska. She's also competing at 16 inches. Miska is a Moody, and our handler, Debbie Carroll, are from the Torbay area. Debbie and Miska make a great team. They're always fun to watch. All right, so Debbie and Miska are ready to start. Lovely weave entry there for Miska. Good job, Debbie. All right, we have a height change happening there now, so we'll give the ring crew a few minutes to make some changes. We're going to jump to 20-inch regular. We just have one dog competing at that jump height, and that's Cooper. Cooper is a border collie. His handler handler is Terry Perrell, and they're from the Mount Pearl. Terry's been competing in agility for quite a few years, with always with his border collies. Right, so I see Cooper's there, ready to go. He's raring to go from the looks of things. Also want to give a shout out there to Lori Kuzak. Lori is up at the end of the field. She takes pictures at our last trial as well, and she does a fantastic job of capturing the dogs. And if anybody is looking, any of our competitors are looking for pictures afterwards, they can certainly reach out to Lori and see what shots she got. And Cooper looks like he's ready to go, so we'll see how this run goes for Cooper. There we go, got that jump in. Good job, Cooper. Our last jump height for the advanced category is going to be 16-inch specials or veterans. For those new to agility, essentially what the specials and veterans allow you to do is to jump your dog at one height lower than what their measured height is. Can be done just because a dog is you're just not quite comfortable jumping at that height. Your dog is not comfortable with it. If some larger breeds would drop down a height just for safety sakes for their joints. There's also the veterans category, and that essentially is if any dog is over 7 years of age, or if they've been competing at specials height for 5 years, they can drop to the veterans category. In addition to that drop of the height, it also, if you're veterans or specials, it gives you a little bit more course time. Just because the dogs are generally maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit slower, whatever the case may be, but it just gives you a little bit of extra time to get in that final gamble of the course. We have two dogs running at the 16-inch specials or veterans. The first one is Kula. Kula is an all-Canadian, and essentially what that means is she's a mixed breed dog. Agility is open to any dog. It does not matter if they're a pure breed or not. It's open to any dog and any handler. So her handler, Tracy Vetcher, is from here in Gander, and she's been a member of YQX Dog Sports for quite a while. She's also one of the trainers for YQX Dog Sports, and she teaches all the trick dog courses, which are loads of fun. Your dogs can gain all different levels of trick dog certifications, and Tracy's fantastic in teaching those courses. So I think she's getting ready to go. Kula's always fun to watch. She's got lots of energy, so we'll see how this works out for Tracy and Kula. Oh, she missed her weaves there. We'll see if Tracy can get her back on course. There we go. Oh, Tracy's so close. Tracy stepped over the orange line that was there on the ground, so I think she may have just missed her gamble, but what a great run. And our last dog in the 16-inch veterans category is Havoc. Havoc is an Australian Shepherd, and he's handled by Katie Manning, who's from Torbay. Katie is no stranger to dog sports. She's involved in agility, rally obedience, conformation classes, all kinds of different things. So Katie is well known in the dog community here. Katie's making her way for the final gamble. See if she can get Havoc to take that. Gamble really tests your dog's ability to work far away from you, as you have to have that distance between them. So that was a clean gamble for Katie. And Havoc, good job. So we got a course change happening now to our starters gambler course. We have about 13 dogs, I believe it is, competing in that course today. For us here at YQX Dog Sports, we have a lot of new handlers, so that starter course is always a lot of dogs involved. We're excited to see how many new people we've had join us in the last little bit, because it ultimately means our group is going to keep growing, and that's what our end goal is. So we're going to take a little break there while the course gets changed, and we'll be back shortly. All right, we're about ready to start in our starters gambler course. So the first dog we have up is starting in the 8-inch regular category. We have Sage, who's a Havanese. He's handled by Jill Doyle. This is Jill and Sage's first trial. They're part of YQX Dog Sports, and they live here in Gander. Sage is a little puppy, but he's pretty fast. He's fun to watch. And I think Brenda, our judge, is ready to go, so Sage should be coming into the ring there now. Good? Yeah. Sage is one of the smallest dogs we have competing this weekend. He's the only one that competes at the 8-inch category, actually. There he goes. It's a big A-frame for a little dog. There we go. So she's going for her gamble. She's got to get that tunnel on this last jump coming up around. Excellent job. Unfortunately, I believe Jill stepped over the edge right at the end, so it was a clean gamble for Sage, but Jill stepped over that gamble line, which means she will not get the gamble there. But it was a great first run ever, actually, for Sage. Good job, Jill. And we're going to jump up to 16-inch regular category there now. First up, we have Flurry. Flurry is another miniature American Shepherd that's handled by Krista Garland, who is the owner of Click Play Love. This is Flurry's first trial as well, but certainly not Krista's first trial. But she's an up-and-coming dog, so we'll see how she does there as soon as the ring crew gets all the jump heights changed. We saw Krista run earlier with Fazzy, who ran in the Advanced Gamblers, I do believe.
When you got a young set of eyes, you're not you're not worried about looking all over the place trying to find a focus. Yeah, with your glasses on, you're all right. When you got bifocals, it's
We got all of our heights changed there, so Krista and Flurry are ready to go, I think. So you see there why the ring crew has a really hard job to do. They're not allowed to touch or talk to those dogs when they come over. And most of these people are dog lovers, so that's pretty hard to do when a cute puppy comes along your way. So as I mentioned, YQX Dog Sports has a lot of new dogs, not handlers, new dogs this year. So this is all a learning experience for them, and it's all about making it fun. And Chris is going to head to the gamble there now and see if she can get Flurry back. There we get her tunnel, last jump to go. There we go. Good job, Flurry and Krista. And we have another at the 16-inch height coming in here now. We have Storm, who is a Hungarian Moody. He's handled by Perry Grandy of Torbay. One thing to note with Storm, he's entered as an FEO entry. What that means is for exhibition only. So essentially it's a training run. The handler can go into the ring, have a toy with them as long as it's not audible, as long as there's no food involved. It gives them a chance to get their dog into an environment that they're not used to. Maybe they're not comfortable with certain pieces of equipment. Maybe their first trial and they just want to give them a chance to have a bit of fun in the ring to kind of get a bit of experience. So he'll get the same amount of time, the 40 seconds, as the other handlers did, even though he is an FEO entry, and it's just a chance for them to kind of get some experience in the ring. This guy is very new to agility, if I recall correctly. So he's just looks like he's living his best life and having a ball. Perry is he's not new to agility. He used to run, I believe, with, I think it might have been Schnauzer's a few years ago, and they've changed to Moody's. His partner is actually Debbie that ran with Miska earlier, so they have two of the Moody's. You can see there he had his toy there at the end and having a bit of a tug and a bit of a play. So we're jumping up to our 20-inch regular category. Up first we have Goose. He is a member of YQX, handled by Susan Hoyles, and we actually call him Goosaboo. So Goosaboo is a stabbyhoon. He's very rare Dutch breed. Susan actually has 2 stabbyhoons, and they're the only 2 in Atlantic Canada, if I recall correctly, and there's only about 400 of them in North America actually. So they're a very rare breed. Susan will be running later with her second stabbyhoon, Willie. I think she's actually in a class a few dogs away, but she'll be back there shortly with her. So the ring crew is just finishing our height changes there. And then Susan will be ready to go with Goose. And there we have Goose and Susan ready to go. Take the dog walk there. It's nice and slow to make sure he gets his contact at the end. For anybody watching, when the dog comes down over that obstacle, they have to hit that yellow portion of the frame, or they won't get the points for it. All right, so she's going to head to try to get that gamble. And she's done. Good job, Goose. All right, in our 20-inch category, the next up is Esker. Esker is a coolie. His handler is Nicole May, and they actually live in Humber Village. Nicole trains all by herself over on the West Coast, so she does a lot of work through online courses and all that kind of thing, and it's great to see them over in our area. From the looks of her hands, I think she has a toy with her, so I'm thinking that Nicole is going to run FEO with Esker as well. You can see Nicole's keeping going back to the dog walk. She wants to try to get a successful run across that just for training purposes. A lot of dogs have trouble if there's a tunnel under the dog walk like that. It's not something they see often, and most dogs love tunnels, so they kind of immediately go towards that. But that was a good run across there, and he got his contacts at the end. So she's going to bypass the gamble and just take the extra seconds to try another dog walk with him. And since this is the first run today, she could do FEO now for this one, just to kind of get some nerves out in the ring and get Esker used to the environment. And then once she does her next run, put him in actual competition. All right, so our last regular height for this course is 24 inches regular. We have Red Rover, who is a standard poodle. He's handled by Lois Hammond, and she is from Mount Pearl. So Red Rover is actually the dog jumping at the highest height we have this week, and he's the only one that jumps at 24 inches, and just him. So it's a pretty high jump. It'll be good to see. He can jump pretty high when you actually see him going through the course. So for today, you'll notice we're doing all of our regular dogs first, then specials and veterans. And we're running from smallest to tallest, we say, so from the lowest jump height to the highest jump height. When we run tomorrow, it'll actually be opposite. We'll start with the tallest dogs and work our way down. It just kind of gives a switch up for the handlers, so they're not in the same place running every time. It gives them a little bit of a change as they're going through. And I think Lois is ready to go. So you can see there's another line there. It's actually called a mini gamble. So in the beginning, when the competitors have their 40 seconds to make up whatever course they want, there are also mini gambles that are set up that they can attempt to take. It just gives them bonus points essentially as they're going through, so it makes it a little bit easier to get your required points. But of course, they are a bit harder to get just because of the fact that you got that distance work you have to do. And that was a clean gamble for Red Rover. So we're going to have a height change there now, dropping down to the 4 inches. Going down to a veterans category. So the first dog that we're going to have at 4 inches is Pebbles. Pebbles is a beagle who's ran by Katie Manning. We saw her earlier running Havoc in the advanced category. Shout out to our volunteers who are sitting there. It's a bit chilly and windy, and our Rogers crews are up on the scaffolds, but they're doing a fabulous job. So because we're jumping from our regular heights to our veterans and special heights, the ring crew up on the end have to drop the A-frame down. It's not at quite as high of an angle when you're running for specials or for veterans. So that takes a little bit of time in between these changes, but once it changes now for the start of specials and veterans, it won't have to change again for this course. We just had a shot of our two volunteers over in the corner. That's our scribe and our timer. So the timer is starting the stopwatch when when the judge is ready, when the dog actually takes the first obstacle, and they're also blowing the whistle for the start of the gamble. And the scribe is writing down all of the hand signals that the judge is giving. So if a dog takes a tunnel or takes a jump, however many points that's worth, the judge is giving hand signals for that. And the scribe is responsible to write down all of those numbers, and that's what's used at the end then to tally up to see if they got enough points for the gamble. That's a big dog walk for a little puppy. So Pebbles is the smallest jump height that we have. He's jumping at 4 inches, so you can see the bars are barely above ground, but that's the lowest possible jump height that you can have, actually, is the 4 inches. All right, so the whistle's blown. We'll see if Katie can get Pebbles in and get that final gamble. No, don't think Pebbles wants to take the tunnel right now. Good job, Katie and Pebbles. So we got another height change happening. We're going up to 12 inches. Next up, we have Tika. Tika is an Entelbuscher. She's ran by Tracy Vetcher. We saw her running earlier with Kula in the advanced category. And I believe there's only a couple Entelbuschers in Newfoundland, I do believe. So as I mentioned earlier, we've got 17 handlers here competing this weekend, and we have 21 dogs. That's actually 15 different breeds. So that's a pretty wide variety of dogs for such a small group. I think we have the last couple of jumps being changed there now, and Tika will be ready to enter the ring. There's Tika heading in. She looks like she's ready to go. Tika's very fast. She's a little dog, but she's super fast. So in Gamblers, you can see Tika just knocked a bar down. In Gamblers, it doesn't really matter because you're making up your own course and you're just accumulating points. If that was in a standard run, a standard course, or a jumper's course, knocking a bar like that would be a fault, which would mean you could not get a clean run on that course. But with Gamblers, it doesn't really matter because it's you just don't get the points for the jump. So we'll see if Tracy can get Tika down and get that gamble to end off on a good note. Tika's only been competing for, I think, about a year or so as well. She's newer to the sport. And Tracy's just going to run the gamble with her just to end off on a good note. All right, so that ends our, no, actually we got one more 12-inch. We've got Willie up next. So Willie is a stabby hoon again, just like Goose was earlier. Willie's running a 12-inch veterans category. There you go. This is Willie. There we go. Susan's going to get her in that tunnel up at the end.
Willie or Multi?
So she's going to head down, see if she can get that gamble with her. Excellent. And they'll get the last jump. So unfortunately, she went and took that tunnel a second time, which means no gamble, but she ended and got that last jump and on a good note. And next up, we have Greta. Greta is a Shetland sheepdog. Carla McGrath handles Greta, and they are from Flat Rock. I believe this is their first time in Gander for a trial. We had one trial here last year, but I don't believe they attended. So this is their first Gander trial. And you can see with gamblers, everyone kind of has a different idea of what they're going to run. Everyone starts in kind of a different spot based on what their dog, what obstacles their dog likes. So as I mentioned earlier, the dogs seem to all love the tunnels, and they're all driven to go right to that tunnel. She's going to head in for the final gamble to see. She got that tunnel and that last jump. Great, she got the final gamble. Good job, Greta and Carla. So we're getting close to the end of the Gamblers course for the morning with just the 16-inch and 20-inch Special Veterans categories left to go. In the 16-inch veteran, we have Gia. Gia is a standard poodle. Her handler is Della Nichols, and Della's no stranger to agility. She has a beautiful setup for agility in her backyard in CBS, and she's hosted many trials and workshops there. So Della has actually, I think it's 3 standard poodles. Her oldest one is retired from agility, but she has a new up-and-coming one, we think. So we have Gia there up first. And then I believe we have 2 dogs left to go after her. All right, and there we have Gia. And Della's going for one of those mini gambles we talked about. There were 3 jumps up there that would give her some bonus points if she got those. All right, and she's going for that final gamble. Excellent. What a nice run, Della. Next up in 16-inch specials, we have Copper. Copper is an all-Canadian. As I mentioned there, that means it's a mixed breed, but they're referred to as all-Canadian. Her handler, Kalisha Crew, live in Campbellton, and they actually drive to Gander, I think, several times a week for classes. So this is their first ever trial as well. So it's nice to see some new dogs in the field. This is a whole new experience for Copper. First time he's ever been, I think, at this field. We have held some classes and things here in the past, but I think it's the first time he's ever actually been up here. So it's all new things for him. So see if Kalisha can get him for the gamble. Good job, Kalisha and Copper. And our last dog in the Gamblers course this morning is Schutz. Schutz is a German Shepherd. He's handled by Sue Sweeney James, who, like Kalisha, travels to Gander for classes every week. She lives in Glovertown. Sue is familiar with agility, but more on the horse side, as she rides horses and does a bunch of things with them at her setup out in Glovertown. So she has a really nice, she does classes and all kinds of things out there with her horses, and then she's recently gotten into agility, so this is her first trial as well. And once Schutz is done, we actually have a course change, so we'll be changing from the Gamblers course into the standard agility course. And we'll give you a bit of an explanation about that course when we're ready to start there. So I think Schutz is ready to go. We all refer to Schutz as Woofy. It's a big dog going through that that little tunnel. Good job. Excellent, nice contact at the end there. Oh, she's going to take him in, try to get for that last gamble. Oh, took off the wrong way. I think he's ready to go. There, you got our tunnel. Excellent. And your last jump. There you go, excellent. Nice job, Sue and Schutz. So that ends our Gamblers classes for this morning. So we have a course change happening, so that's going to take a few minutes. So we'll be back with you shortly. All right, so we got our course change all done, and we've switched to our starters standard course. So this course is actually being sponsored by Rebecca Ribben McLean Law Office. Rebecca Ribben McLean Law Office is a full-service law firm here in Gander. They provide representation in all areas of law, including real estate, family law, and personal injury. Rebecca Ribben McLean was called to the bar in 1996. Vanessa McCarthy was called to the bar in 2007, and Adam Joyce was called to the bar in 2002. The firm will be celebrating its 10th anniversary in September of 2022. So I want to send a shout out to them and thank you for their support. These events would not be possible without local organizations and businesses who are coming on board as sponsors. So a little bit of background before we get started there on YQX Dog Sports. Krista moved to Gander in 2016 and brought her love of agility with her. And just after that, we started our YQX Dog Sports. We had one trial in August of 2021, and that was actually the first trial in Newfoundland ever held off of the Avalon. So it was a huge success. I think we had about 20 dogs competing, and this year we decided to go and make two happen. So we have this one happening this weekend, and we also have one happening in August. So we're excited to have some more opportunities for our dogs to compete here at home. So I think we're ready to go. So the little bit different of the course that we ran earlier, the Gambler's course, the standard course is the same course for every dog that's running it. Everybody goes in the same order, same obstacles. There are no points to accumulate. It just comes down to, can you run the course clean with no faults in the set amount of time? So everything that was in there for the Gambler's course is still in play. So the weave poles and all the contact equipment that are still there. And you'll notice, I'm not sure if you can see it or not there, but in front of each one of the obstacles, there's a little number. It's on a white tent in front of each one of the obstacles. So the course is ordered by, I think it's numbers 1 to, I think this one might be 16. I'm not 100% sure. And whatever number is on that obstacle, that's the order it has to be taken in. So you can see there on that jump there, we have a number 10. So that has to be taken in order. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and right up through. And the one thing to note, wherever that number is, whatever side of the jump that number is on, that is the side of the obstacle the dog has to take. So that one we just saw, the number 10, if the dog were to take the back side of that jump instead of the front side where the number is, that would be a fault because they technically went off of course. So we have, in this course, we have 14 dogs competing. So this course is all starters level. So the first one we have is Jenga, who's a working Cocker Spaniel. Him and his handler Diane ran earlier today in our Masters Gambler course. So I think the judge is just getting a few things situated there. I think she's going to move a couple of our volunteers down farther in the corner just to make things a little bit easier for them to see the start line. When it comes to the time that the dog has to run the course, the time actually starts when the dog takes the very first obstacle. All right, so Jenga is ready to go. Nice weaves for Jenga. I'm going to take the dog walk, and the last one is a tar. What a nice run. Excellent. It looks like a clean run, so now we'll see if she did it within time. Jenga went on a bit of a victory run, I think, but so we have a height change there now. We're going to jump to 16 inches. So up first, we're going to have Krista and Flurry. And Krista's running an FEO run with Flurry. Like I mentioned earlier, this is her first trial. So Krista's just going to go in and do some obstacles, some training, and reward her just to let her get comfortable with the environment. Whoa. So Chris is doing a bit of training there on the teeter to make sure that she sticks that landing and doesn't fly off the end.
Looks like we're still going to have some dogs. Oh, you get the little one on there.
So FEO runs are pretty common for, like I said, newer dogs or ones who are not used to competing, who've done lots of training maybe, but not in this environment. So this just lets them gain a little bit of confidence there. So up next we have Storm and Peary, and this is going to be another FEO. So in case you missed it earlier, FEO just means for exhibition only, and it just means that it's essentially a training run. The handler can bring in a toy with them, as long as it's not an audible sound, no squeakers or anything like that, and no food. Just gives them a chance to do some training in a different environment and get them used to the competition ring.
Just trying to avoid the obstacle. This circle here, I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. There you go.
Good boy. Good job. Hey, Doc, come
All right, so we're still at 16 inches, and we're going to have Miska. Miska and Debbie are up next. All right, so we got Debbie and Miska in the ring there now. Nice contact there for Miska on the teeter. So she went a bit off course. They're taking that from jump 9 to 10. So we'll see. I'm not sure how far off course she went, whether that'll be a fault or not. And just the dog walk and then the tire jump at the end left to go. Nice run for Debbie and Miska. So our last 16-inch regular height dog that we have is Fozzie and Krista. We saw Fozzie a couple minutes ago with, Krista a couple minutes ago with Flurry. So hopefully she had a chance to catch her breath before she runs her next one. Nice teeter there for Fazzy. There we go, got his weaves. Missed the entry first couple times, but she's got him back. You see a couple faults there. Fazzy took the tunnel the second time, which wasn't in the course layout. But overall, nice run for Krista and Fazzy. So we have a height change coming up to our 20-inch regular category there now. First stag that we're going to have in the ring is Cooper with handler Terry. And that'll be followed up by Goose and Susan. All right. And here goes Cooper. Oh, missed that teeter. There we go. Cooper likes that tunnel. Cooper has some fantastic weaves. They look wonderful. He's going to take it up the A-frame and last jump. And he'll get that last tire jump in there. Oh, nice, good job. So now we have Goose and Susan. Susan's just waiting for Cooper to exit the ring on the other side there. Susan looks like she's going to be doing an FEO run with Goose. She's got a toy there in her hand. Just having some fun with him, just getting him comfortable. Oh. nice A-frame from him. All right. So next up, Goose and Susan are leaving the ring there. Next up, we're going to have Esker and Nicole. This is the last one in our 20-inch category. And I think Nicole has a toy there in her hand as well, so I think she's going to be running FEO with Esker as well.
Am I getting dark? Am I monitor really dark? That was a really nice course.
Thank you. Hello, hello, hello.
Took a war.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to jump up to our 24-inch regular category there now, and we're going to have Red Rover and his handler Lois coming in the ring. I think we're having some higher winds than earlier today, so I think they're just switching out a few jumps and putting in some of the heavier ones, just so they're not going to blow over. Yeah, Red Rover there now, ready to go, I think. So I missed that jump, so went a little off course there. So you can see he took the wrong side of that jump at that point, so you can see the judge put up for a fault there for her. Oh, missed the last entry for that last pole. Slow and steady across the dog walk, and the last charge up there flew off her course. Excellent. So we're going to switch to the special veterans category there now, which means we have to do a change to to the A-frame height, and we're dropping into our 12-inch special category. So the first dog we're going to have on deck is Tika, handled by Tracy. So I think Tika's making her way into the ring there now. Again, want to give a shout out to all of our volunteers here. It's pretty chilly sitting in that ring right now, especially when you're not running around with a dog. And a shout out to all of our Rogers cameramen and all that are broadcasting for us today. We really appreciate their support of our event. See if we can get Tika in through the weaves there now. Oh, missed her first entry. So with the weaves, the dogs have to take the first set of weaves. You have to go in with their left shoulder going in through the weave. So if they happen to go in from the right, or if they happen to take a second entrance, then they have to restart them because it wouldn't be completed properly. Good job, Tika and Tracy. So next we have Greta and Carla, and they're in the 12-inch category as well. And after that, we have 3 dogs left in this course. So we're moving right along. Nice teeter there by Greta. Excellent run so far there. Oh, just missed her start entry there for her weaves. She missed a couple of her entries there, so the judge just indicated that was a fault. Nice A-frame for Greta. And she got the tire. Excellent. All right, so we have a height change. This is our last group, and we're going up to 16 inches. So this is the last group for the starters standard 1 course. First up, we're going to have Gia and Della again in the 16-inch veteran category. So I think Gia and Della are ready to go. Nice run so far there. See if Gia can get that start to those weaves. Oh, she missed one there. Oh, she missed her contact there at the end of the dog walk. You see she never hit the yellow portion, which she needs to get the run. Next up in the 16-inch veteran category, we have Havoc and Katie. Nice teeter there from Havoc. Just cautious to make sure they got that contact at the end.
Take a little break.
Got to itch, you got to scratch it.
Flies are biting.
Nice. Oh, Havoc missed the A-frame there. Missed the end of that dog walk there as well. There we go. Katie got him back on track. Excellent, nice run for Havoc and Katie. So the last dog for our standards course this morning is Kula, handled by Tracy. We saw Tracy a few minutes ago running Tika. So this is our last dog for this course. right, so we got Kula on the course. Nice run so far. Let's see if Kula can get her. Oh, she missed the entry there to her weaves. I think she missed the last pole there. Oh, she popped off the side of the A-frame there. So Tracy decided just to bypass trying that A-frame again. And I think we're done with that course. So we're going to be switching to our next course, which will be a jumper's course. So jumper's course is just jumps and tunnels. So it's going to take the volunteers a little bit to take out all the equipment that has to come out. We have to take out all the contact equipment along with the weave poles. So that's going to take a little bit. So we'll be back with you shortly. All right, so I think we're just about ready to start our first course. So welcome back to the AAC trial being held here in Gander at the Gander International Airport Fields. We just want to give a shout out first to Union East, the restaurant at the airport. They offered lunch services for our competitors and our volunteers. So it's kind of outside their regular opening hours, but they delivered some fabulous lunches right to our crating area. So it's greatly appreciated. The competitors certainly appreciate having lunch brought to them. Up this afternoon we have a jumper's run. So if you look at the course, you'll see a few things that are different. All of our contact equipment along with the weave poles have all been taken out of the course. So this course is all jumps and tunnels. The course today is sponsored by Roughing It Canine Club Incorporated. They are located in St. John's, and they offer puppy classes, nosework classes, and competition sports trainings. It's really nice to see other dog sport organizations supporting organizations across the province, so it helps make the sport much better. So the first course we're going to have is an advanced jumpers course, and we're starting at a 12-inch jump height. Up first, we're going to have Jenga, who is a working English Cocker Spaniel, and he is handled by Diane. We've seen Diane a couple times this morning, and she's headed in there shortly to do our advanced jumpers course. See, the judge is just making her way into the ring there now. So you'll see a couple of different kinds of jumps in this course. We have the tower jump and just a regular one bar jump. We also have a spread jump and a double jump or an ascending jump. So there's a couple of different types of jumps in the course. You will notice that when we jump to our specials and our veterans classes, that spread jump and the double jump will be removed. They are only used for dogs jumping at the regular category. So I think the judge has just given our timer and our scribe volunteers over in the corner some last minute instructions, and then we'll be ready to go. So right there we can see the double jump that I mentioned, and way over on the left hand side of the field there's an ascending jump. So like the standard course we had earlier, a jumper's course, there's no, I guess the dogs don't get the choice where they want to go. Everything is numbered. Again, it has to be taken in order. So the advanced course that we're running is going to run from jump number 1, which is right here at the beginning of the course, and going right up to number 19, which is going to end on the tire jump. think we're just about ready to go. I see the judges slowly making our way across to the middle of the course there. I think Jenga's raring to go. All right, so Jenga and Diana are in the course there now. So you see the jumpers courses are very fast courses. The contact equipment will tend to slow things down. However, when it's just the jumps and tunnels, the dogs can really get a lot of speed going. Nice run from Diane and Jenga. A couple of drop bars we see up there in the corner. So after Jenga, we are moving up to the 16-inch category. And first we have Miska and Debbie. So give our ring crew there a chance to get our jump heights all changed. Thing with the jumpers course is there are a lot of jumps, so there's a lot of height changes that have to happen in between those different categories. So just gonna take us a few minutes there to get those changed. All right, and I think we're ready to go. All right, so we've got Miska and Debbie coming into the ring there now, jumping at a 16-inch regular category. Missed the end of the tunnel there. Nice run there for Debbie and Miska. And up next we have Fozzie and Krista. Again, jumping in the 16-inch category. Just run there for Krista so far. Fozzie. Just got that tunnel at the end, the big spread jump. And retire. Nice run for Krista and Fozzie. So the next one in our advanced is Kula and Tracy, and Kula jumps at the 16-inch specials height. So that means we have to take out the double jump and the spread jump. So with the double jump, they can just take the extra bars off. However, with the ascending jump, the whole jump has to be taken out. So we'll just need to give our volunteers a minute there just to get that new jump put in place. I think the course is ready to go. So we got Kula and Tracy up. Kula went a bit off course and took that tunnel down at the end. The back half of the course ran very well. A nice run for Kula and Tracy. So we're going to be moving to a starters jumpers course now. So there's going to be a few changes to the layout of the course. Generally with the starters course, you're going to have a few less obstacles. So for the advanced course, we went from 1 to 19. And in the starters one, we're actually going to 1 to 16. So a few things to change there. Just in terms of jump placement and mainly the numbers actually. A lot of the jumps we left in the same spot just for ease of course setup, but the numbers will all have to be changed. So we'll give our crew a few minutes to take care of that, and we'll be back with our starters jumpers course shortly. So just to give you an idea of what's happening there now, we have the competitors who are taking part in our starters course. They're in the ring with the judge. The judge is doing a briefing with them. Essentially, she's explaining how the course is going to run, any tips I guess she wants to give them, or any suggestions. The handlers have a 5-minute time window to walk around the course. You'll see them all walking around with their hand out. Essentially, they're walking with their imaginary dog, trying to have a look at how they want to run the course, whether they want their dog on their right side or their left side, or different things like that. You'll see every person kind of has a different view on how they want to run it. We can see, I think it's Perry that's running across there now. Or actually, I think it's Terry. He's running across there, envisioning where he's going to send his dog and how he's going to move through the course. So the jumpers course, everybody does have to take the exact same pattern and the exact same order of obstacles. but people kind of have different handling skills and different ways they like to handle. Some will have dog on left, some will have dog on right. So it all just depends on how they need to go to the next obstacle, if they need to cross over and things like that. So you can see they're all walking with their hands out, and that's as if it was their dog. And the judge is walking through there with the wheel. She's just measuring out between the obstacles to make sure it matches what her course map says. So all the competitors at the beginning of each class are given a map that essentially maps out where everything is to, shows them where everything is to on the course, and that gives them a chance to kind of visualize things before they actually get in there. All right, I think we're about ready to start our starters jumper course. So the first dog in the ring is going to be Sage, handled by Jill, and they're jumping at 8 inches. All right, so Sage is on his way into the ring there now. So as I mentioned earlier, this is Sage's first trial. Nice start for her so far. Oh, so close. He took the wrong side of the jump there. Otherwise, she had a pretty clean run going. Nice run for Sage and Jill. So we're jumping up to the 16-inch regular, and that's going to be Storm, and he's doing an FEO run. So for anybody who missed it, the FEO run just means for exhibition only. Lets a handler come in with a toy to kind of just work on certain obstacles or just get their dog's comfort level with the ring. Maybe for dogs who it's their first competition or who are not quite comfortable with certain obstacles and things like that. This is, I believe, Storm's first year competing, so he's just getting used to the environment. It's also his first time in Gander, so different field, different equipment. And a lot of these dogs not from Gander have to get used to the planes coming in, since we're right by the airport. It's family day at the military base here, so the Cormorant helicopters have been flying over all day, so that's certainly noises that these dogs are not used to. All the YQX dogs are familiar with it because it's a common day occurrence, but dogs from outside of Gander are not as familiar with it. So we got Storm there now, and like I said, he is going to be doing an FEO run with him. And some really nice jumps there from Storm. He's going to be a fast dog when he gets comfortable with everything. There we go. Excellent. Nice FEO run for Storm and Perry. So we're jumping up to the 20-inch regular height. So for that one we have, first dog up is going to be Goose. Goose is a stabby hoon. We have two stabby hoons that are running this weekend. Susan Hoyles is the handler for both of them. She has the only two in Newfoundland for sure, and I think maybe the only two in Atlantic Canada, but I know there are only about 400 of them in North America, so they're a pretty rare breed. So we got Goose headed in there now. Goose is not feeling it today. The winds have gotten pretty high here this afternoon, and a lot of the dogs, the wind really throws them off. And I guess Susan's going to body and bones Goose to try to get him to do a few things just to end on a positive note. And having Krista down there in the corner might be a bad thing for the YQX dogs because they're all so familiar with her that they all love going to see her. And all right, so up next we have I think the judge wants her to come back in and do a couple things. That's a lot of dog to carry around. All right. So up next we have Cooper, handled by Terry. So he's getting ready to head in over there now. So he's at the 20-inch regular height as well. There we go, got him back on track after a couple little zoomies through some tunnels. There we go. The last one we have in our 20-inch regular category is Nicole with Esker. Nicole ran Esker FEO for most of the morning, but from the looks, I think she's going to actually run this one. She's no toy in her hand, so Nice run so far. Nice clean run so far. 2 obstacles left. Excellent run from Nicole and Esker. That looks like a good clean run. Oh, Esker escaped. All right, we're going to have a change to 24 inches there now. And we're going to have Red Rover and Lois. All right, so I think Red Rover is ready to go. Yeah, nice. The first 4 obstacles were good and clean. Yeah, good clean run so far. So just the tunnel and 2 jumps left for Red Rover. Excellent run for Red Rover and Lois. So we're dropping down now to 4-inch specials. So a couple of things have to change there where we are going down to specials again. The spread jump that's over on the far side of the course has to come out and just be replaced with a regular jump. And the double jump that we have here on the right hand side has to be switched to just have a single bar and not the additional bars there. So in our 4-inch specials course, the first one we have, actually the only dog we have jumping at 4 inches is Pebbles. And she's handled by Katie. And Katie was here earlier in the advanced course with Havoc. All right, so I think we're all set up and ready to go. All right, give our ring crew a chance to get back to their corners, and then we'll be ready to go. So Pebbles is our shortest dog, we'll say, jumping this weekend at 4 inches. It's the only one we have. You can see the bars for him are just barely off the ground. pretty tiny. Just the tunnel and then the 2 last jumps. Let's see if Pebbles can clear those 2. Missed the last jump, so close. There we go, nice ending for Pebbles and Katie. So we are going to be jumping up to 12-inch special as they are now. Everything in the course stays the same, just the bar height is going to change. Up first, we are going to have Tika with her handler Tracy. And Tika is an Entelbusher. So as I mentioned earlier, we have 15 different breeds competing this weekend. So it's a wide variety of dogs. Lots of different breeds to be able to see if you're, if you're a dog person. There's lots of different breeds. They all have different characteristics and all that kind of thing. And I think Tika is making her way into the ring there now. So she missed her entry there to the tire jump. Tracy's going to take Tika off the ring there. So we're gonna have Willie up next with Susan. And she is again jumping at the 12-inch veteran's height. Nice first obstacles for Susan and Willie. Two obstacles left for Willie. Nice. Up next we have Greta and her handler Carla are making their way there in the ring. Greta made a little visit over to our ring crew in the corner. As I mentioned earlier, the ring crew has the hardest job because they, if a dog happens to go up there, they can't pet them, they can't talk to them. And the last couple jumps for Greta. Nice run for Greta and Carla. So we're going to jump up to 16-inch. And up first, we're going to have Katie and... Oh, actually, I've got the wrong list in front of me. Sorry about that. We've got Enzo. Enzo is a legato. Deidre, his handler, is from here in Gander, and she's a member of YQX Dog Sports. Enzo has competed in... this is his first year competing in agility, I do believe. And he also takes part in a lot of nose work classes. Enzo's going and visiting everybody that's around. And she's going to take him out of the ring there. So now we're going to jump to our 16 inches. And we're going to have the first dog on deck is going to be Havoc, handled by Katie. I think Havoc is ready to go. Nice run so far from Katie, all clean from what we can see. Oh, I spoke too soon. And the last two jumps for Havoc. Nice run for Katie and Havoc. All right, up next we have Copper. Copper is handled by Kalisha. I think that's who we have next. Oh, she's just making her way there to the ring. So this is Copper's first trial. There. Oh. So our last dog in the 20-inch, or sorry, in the starters category for our jumpers course is a 20-inch specials, and that's going to be Schutz. And Schutz is handled by Sue. So that's the last dog for our jumpers course. And then we'll move into our last course for the day.
Yeah. You didn't want to go show? How many show? Oh yeah.
All right, so I think Schutz and Sue are ready to go. There we go. There you go, got him back on course. This is Schutz's and Sue's first competition as well. So close, missed that last jump. I think he says I'm ready to go. Get the last jump right. There we go. So that's our last dog in our jumpers course. So we have a course change now headed to our steeplechase course, which is the last one for the day. We'll let the ring crew get all those changes made. One thing that has to happen for this is that the contact equipment, or at least some of it, has to come back in the ring, so it'll take a few minutes to get all that brought in. As soon as things are ready, we'll be back to give you an explanation of what the steeplechase course means, and give you a load in on some of our sponsors and all that kind of thing. So we're ready for the last course of the day. So we're running a steeplechase. Steeplechase course is proudly sponsored by Pet Central. Pet Central is a family-owned one-stop shop for all of your animals' needs. In addition to sponsoring the steeplechase course today, Pet Central also provided fabulous welcome bags for all of our competitors. These bags are filled with treats and toys and all kinds of things for their dogs, so their generosity is so greatly appreciated. So steeplechase is a little bit different than all the other courses we've ran today. This is a single level course, so you'll notice there's no advanced, masters, nothing like that. It's just one level course. The obstacle of it really is to demonstrate a dog's ability to run and jump at really high speeds, but still maintain control when they're going over the A-frame and the weave poles. So for this one, the dog has to have 10 qualifying runs under at least 2 different judges, and then they would be awarded a Masters Steeplechase Dog of Canada title. So the course we're running today is made up of 18 obstacles that has jumps, the tire jump, A-frame, and weave poles. So depending on the dog's height and whether they're in regular or special categories, the amount of time that the handler has for the course may vary. So the difference with steeplechase and, say, a standards course that we ran earlier, if they drop a bar, it doesn't mean that they can't get a qualifying run. All that happens is they get a certain number of faults. And at the end of the course, the time that it took them to run the course, plus however many faults they received, are added together, and that becomes their score for the course. So it is possible to drop a bar, but still have enough enough points to receive a qualifying score. So just for example, if a dog knocks a bar in one of the jumps, it's 5 faults, so that would be added to their time. If they miss the contacts coming down the A-frame, so they miss that yellow portion of the frame, again, they get 5 faults. If a dog goes off course, so whether it's, they take the wrong obstacle, they take the wrong side of a jump, there's 20 faults. So the judge will just be calling out faults to the scribe as the dogs are going through, and at the end of the day, we'll see how their time plus their faults add up in accordance to what they would need to have a qualifying score. So there's no course changes required because it is a single level course, so it should go fairly quickly. We just have a few height changes as we're going through. So we're just waiting there now for the judge to make her way back to the ring, and our first dog on the line is going to be at a 12-inch regular height, which is Jenga with Diane. We've seen Jenga and Diane run a couple times so far today, so they're getting ready to head to the ring there shortly. So while we're waiting for them to head in, I just want to give another shout out to all of our event sponsors for today. We want to thank the town of Gander for their support, Gander International Airport Authority for the use of the fields for their for the event, Battlefield Equipment Rentals, who donated the scaffolding we're using for the Rogers cameraman. Jumping Bean Gander provided coffee and tea for our participants and our volunteers. Pet Central for, as I mentioned, the welcome bags and sponsoring our classes. We also want to thank Alpha Omega Canada, which donated some prizes for our competitors. We want to thank Evangel Pentecost Church, who provided us with a speaker and a microphone for using here on the field, especially in this wind. It can get really hard to hear if you're calling out what dog is up next and things like that, so it's great to have that. And last, I want to thank Rogers TV. Rogers have been fantastic to deal with, and they're here in all the wind and the cold and all that, and still got smiles on their faces for the most part. So it's been a great day together, and we're looking forward to tomorrow. So our Steeplechase course, as I mentioned earlier, is sponsored by Pet Central. So we're ready to go there now. The judge is making her way into the ring. She's just going to go have a quick chat with our volunteers in the corner. She has to let them know what amount of times different dogs have, because of course whistles have to be blown to let dogs know that they're out of time. So she just has to provide that information to the timer over in the corner before we start. I see Jenga's there ready to go. And after Jenga, we're going to have Miska and Debbie, I do believe.
Yep.
All right, so our judge is making her way into the center of the ring there. Again, our judge is Brenda Jusko. She is from Nova Scotia. She's been involved in agility for about 40 years, I believe she said. So she's well versed in the sport. Jenga's whipping by there. Take that A-frame. And she's going to head back down through those weave poles. Nice run for Diane and Jenga. All right, so we're jumping up to our 16-inch regular category, I do believe.
Forward. Copy everything.
And up first, we are going to have Miska. I think all of our heights, our jumps are changed there now. So first dog up is Miska with Debbie.
The dog is ready to come in, Cindy.
Just got one jump there that had to be adjusted up in the back corner. All right. The other difference with steeplechase and the other runs we've done today, if a dog starts an obstacle and then stops and has to restart, it's not classified as a refusal or a fault in steeplechase. So they can redo it and there's no penalty for that. That's a good run for Mishka. I think it was one fault over on the contact for the A-frame, but other than that, I think it was a good run. So up next we have Fozzie and Krista. All right. So we got Fozzie ready to go. Nice weaves for Fozzie. Take that frame, get his contact at the bottom. A tunnel up there in the corners, and it's going to come down and take those weaves in the center of the ring again. Excellent run for Fozzie and Krista. So we are going to have a height change to 20-inch regular. And the first dog we're going to have in the ring is Goose, handled by Susan. I think we've got all of our heights changed there. So up first we've got Goose. Susan is heading in the ring there now. Goose wants to hang it with the judge as opposed to run a course today. All right, so up next we're gonna have Cooper. His handler is Terry Peril. And he is again at the 20-inch regular height. Nice jumps from Cooper. See if he gets his weave entry there. There we go.
Good job.
So missed that last jump down in the corner. As mentioned, there's no faults for refusals or in a steeplechase, so he can come back and redo it with no issue. So he's gonna get those weaves coming down through the center. And there we go. A nice run for Cooper and Terry. So the last dog we have at this 20-inch height is Esker. His Esker's handle is Nicole.
Thank you.
What's going on now? We're coming in? We're good?
Esker's making his way in there now. So it looks like Nicole is going to be running FEO with Esker for this one as well. So FEO, if you haven't seen an earlier run, FEO just means for exhibition only, which means that the handler is bringing a toy with them, so they're going to use it as a training opportunity rather than actually trying for a qualifying run. Is going to head over to the A-frame to have a bit of practice there. So we're going to jump up to our last regular height of the day. So that's a 24-inch regular. In that class, we're going to have Red Rover. So Red Rover's handler is Lois Hammond. And Red Rover's I guess the tallest jumping dog we have. He's the only one this weekend that's going to be jumping at the 24-inch height. right, so our course is all ready to go. There we go. Missed that red jump down the corner. There we go. And she's gonna come take that jump up top and come straight down the middle through the weaves, and then 2 jumps to go. Nice run for Red Rover and Lois. So we're gonna be dropping to 16-inch. Specials are veterans there now. So we have to get our A-frame height drop down because it's a specials category. All right, so we just got our last couple jump heights being changed there as we're dropping into our specials category. So first up we have Tika, handled by Tracy. We're actually down to the last, I think it's 5 to 6 dogs of the day. You can see a couple of our ring crew are putting some extra weights on the jumps because the winds have picked up quite a bit and the jumps are starting to blow over a little bit, so we've got some extra weights being added on. Tika's coming down there. I think Tracy's going to end it there at the tire jump for Tika. So up next in that same category, the 12-inch specials, we are actually 12-inch veteran for Willie. Willie and Susan, they're just getting ready to head into the ring. Willie's off to a good start. Slow but steady through the weaves, making sure she doesn't miss any of those entries. Nice run so far for Willie. Just missed her entrance to the tire there. So she missed that tire, so that would be a fault that she went off course there. Just gonna take those last set of weaves. And then the two jumps that are left. Good job by Willie and Susan. So the next dog in the 12-inch specials height we have is Greta, handled by Carla. Greta's headed in for the weaves there. She's just gonna bypass the weaves, I think. Nice contact coming down there at the end. Let's see if she attempts those weaves again. Nice run there for Greta and Carla. So we're getting down to the end of our courses today. So we're dropping down to a 16-inch height there now. We have two dogs in this category. First one up, we have Havoc, who's handled by Katie Manning. And then we're going to move to Kula, who's handled by Tracy. All right, and here's Havoc ready to go. Come to take those last set of weaves. Nice coming through them. Nice run for Katie and Havoc. Up next we have Kula. See, the judge is just fixing one of our jumps. Seems like the wind took it out over the corner, so just give a second there for her to get that situated. But the one good thing about the wind is there are no flies, so we'll take the wind. All right, I think Kula is ready to go. There we go, Kula getting her weaves in. She went off course there up at the tunnel, took the wrong end, unfortunately. Nice set of weaves to end it off, but missed her last jump there. So the last dog we're going to have in the steeplechase course is Schutz, handled by Sue Sweeney-Jeans. And I do believe Sue is doing this as an FEO run with Schutz. Like I said earlier, he is a new dog to agility. And I don't quite think he has weaves yet, so this is a good training opportunity for her to get him used to the ring. And have a look at some training while she gets a chance there in the actual competition ring. And we have another cormorant flying by. So like I said, all these dogs have to contend with some new noises who are not from the area. Have very Gander. All right, so Schutz is in there, and like I said, this is an FEO run, so they're just going to do some training and have a bit of fun. So as much as we've talked about getting qualifying runs and things like that, I guess the real purpose behind agility is just having fun with your dog. It's a way to get out, do something different, run around, make yourself look like a fool most times. But the dogs really enjoy it, and it's a great way to make a connection with your dog. It's a good way to build relationships with them. And agility is a very fear-free sport. The judges will dismiss you from the ring if there's any aggressive handling or anything along those lines. So it's all about having fun with your dogs. So we're going to have a presentation of awards and ribbons, things are now from our judge. So in the screen we've got Krista Garland, who's co-chair, and Susan Hoyles, the other co-chair. And we've got our judge, Brenda. So the first First presentation we're given is to Jenga and Diane, who had a qualifying run in Masters Gambler and a first place. Up next, we're going to do our Advanced Gamblers.
With the second place is Miska. Come, Debbie, come.
And we have Miska and Debbie. Oh, I think we're gonna get people are moving a bit closer just because of the wind. So up next we have Cooper and Terry.
And second place, 16 Special Kula.
We have Tracy and Kula with a second place finish. We have Havoc and Katie, who had a qualifying run and a first place.
For 8-inch regular, we have Sage Kettle, first place.
In our starters gambler, we have Sage and Jill. This was Sage's first trial, and he had a first place finish. Up next, we have Krista and Flurry, who had a first place finish as well.
Then we have Red Rover, got a first place.
Red Rover with a first place finish with Lois.
And 4-inch veteran, we have Pebbles.
And we have Pebbles, who had a first place finish as well.
12-inch special, Tika.
Tika is a 12-inch special, and she has a first place finish.
Greta has a second place.
And we have Greta in 12-inch specials as well with a second place finish.
Alicia with Copper got a second place.
We have Kalisha with Copper, and Copper had a second place finish.
And with the Q in 16-inch, we have Gia.
And we have Gia, who had a qualifying run and a first place finish. And that is in our starters gambler course.
And then we have Sue and Schutz.
And Sue and Schutz have a first place finish in 20-inch special run. So we have Jenga and Diane had the first place finish. We have Miska with a first place finish in 16-inch regular. Second place we have Krista with Fozzie, and that's in the 16-inch regular category. And in first place for the 20-inch regular for our standards course is Cooper and Terry. In 24-inch regular, we have a first place finish with Red Rover. 12-inch special first place finish goes to Tika. And the second place finish in 12-inch special goes to Greta and Carla. In 16-inch veteran, second place finish goes to Della. third place in the 16-inch is specials is Kula and Tracy. And with a qualifying run and first place finish, we have Havoc with Katie. Havoc had a great day with a couple Qs. Up next, I think we're going to move into the jumpers course. So we're starting with our advanced jumpers. First place is Jenga. 16-inch regular first place would come to Fozzie. Second place in 16-inch. Second place is Miska. And Debbie. And in our 16-inch specials category, we have first place going to Kula. Looking at our starters jumpers course. Second place in a 20-inch regular category is Cooper with Terry. First place in the 20-inch regular and a qualifying score is for Esker and Nicole. Up next we have 24-inch regular. And we have a qualifying score and first place, and that goes to Red Rover. We're continuing on with awards for our starters jumpers course. For 4-inch vet, we have Pebbles with a first place finish. Second place in 12-inch specials. Actually, first place, sorry, with a qualifying score and a first place finish is Willie and Susan. She's going to shove that ribbon right in her pocket. And Greta and Carla with a first place finish as well.
Christmas ball. You can make a nice Christmas ball and a styrofoam ball with the red and green.
16-inch veteran, we have Havoc with a first place finish.
I know this one was my fault.
And in the 20-inch specials category, we have Schutz and Sue with the first place finish.
The problem is you need to drink. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's all the way around.
So the last grouping we have is Steeplechase.
So,
12-inch regular, first place finish goes to Jenga. And that is a qualifying score for Jenga and Steeplechase as well. Moving to 16-inch regular category. The judges are just trying to, or the judge and our co-chairs are just figuring out something there. All right, so I think we're ready to go with the rest of the steeplechase results. So we're going to start with the 16-inch regular category. First place finish and a Q in 16-inch steeplechase is Fozzie. Second place finish and a Q is for Miska. Moving to the 20-inch regular category in our steeplechase class. First place goes to Cooper.
During camera or you're down in the truck, whatever it is.
24-inch regular, we have Red Rover with the first place finish. Next up is our 12-inch Specials and Veteran. First place is Havoc in the 16-inch Specials category. And a Q, I do believe. So that's it for ribbons, but the judge has picked her judge's choice prizes for the gamblers' runs. And she's doing the top gambler's dog from each of the categories, so from the Masters, the Advanced, and the Regulars. So for the first one she's doing, is going to start with starters. And the judge's choice for that award goes to Gia and Della. In our advanced class, the top gambler's dog is going to Havoc. And our last one is the top Masters gamblers, and that goes to Jenga and Diane. Before we end, I just want to give a shout out again to all of our sponsors and our class sponsors for today. So we had Pippa White, who sponsored our Gamblers course, Rebecca Rebbe McLean Law Office, who sponsored our Standards course, Roughneck Canine Club, who sponsored our Jumpers course, and Pet Central, who sponsored Steeplechase. So I want to shout out to all the volunteers who spent their day with us today. Like I said, it's been windy and chilly and all that, but they stuck here for the whole time, so it's great to have their support. Also, a last shout out to our committee members. Something like this doesn't go off without a lot of hands and a lot of hours. So Susan Hoyles is our co-chair and trial manager. Krista Garland is the co-chair and equipment manager. Myself, Jill Hurdle, is technical coordinator. Tracy Vetcher and Pamela O'Keefe have handled our volunteers for the weekend, and Deirdre Stratton handled all of our food and beverages. And finally, I want to say thank you to all of our competitors today. Without dedicated dog enthusiasts like these people, we wouldn't be able to put these events off. So you can see on our screen there now, all of our equipment is coming down, and we'll be packing it all up and getting it ready bright and early again tomorrow morning. So we hope to see you watching tomorrow's sessions. Have a great evening.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.
Looking for the best way to get the Major League Baseball games you want to watch? Rogers Super Sports Pack has you covered. With MLB Extra Innings, you'll have a premium ticket to out-of-market regular season games with all games available in HD. Don't miss the action from the games you want from both the American and National Leagues. MLB Extra Innings, part of the Super Sports Pack. For only $35.95 a month, Rogers customers get all this for one all-inclusive price. Order using your remote starting on channel 431 or visit Rogers.com today.
One in 3 fatalities on our waterways is caused by impaired